Now, how do I want to start this is the question.
After a long and perilous journey, the Shining Force finally reached Runefaust, the capital city once known as Protectora until Darksol's arrival corrupted their king, and drove Ramladu to seek power through the forces of darkness. After meeting with Mahato, Max learned of Darksol's final destination, and pursued the evil sorcerer towards their final confrontation, but first needed fight his way through King Ramladu's elite forces. They were swiftly defeated, and now the King of Runefaust himself challenged Max and the Shining Force to a final battle as the adventure continues.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shining Force, the legacy of great intention for the Sega Genesis. We are in the castle of Runefaust or whatever, because Runefaust needs 2 castles apparently, and we must defeat King Ramladu, who has been controlled by Darksol all this time. But the main threat is right here. Robots. So I arranged my party accordingly. Lots of AoE attacks with rings and magic. Plus Musashi to have a little bit more brute strength for actually dealing with the boss himself. These guys have higher speed than Aleph, so I actually think I'm going to start off by protecting her with some quick magic. They can still zap her, but this will get somebody also in the way, because she's one of my more valuable characters for doing this, because I need all the spells that can just hit a ton of things to take these guys out as quickly as possible without dying, which these guys have their laser attacks that can take me out pretty quickly. I think these guys resist magic quite a bit, so I'm actually going to use level 3 just to make sure that it gets taken out. I'm not entirely sure if level 2 or 1 would have... Well, 1 definitely wouldn't have been enough. Now Tao's probably going to be taken out though, unless she dodges this, which she didn't. That almost killed her twice in one blow. Fortunately, the enemies are sometimes dumb, but this could be a problem if they all start ganging up on Max. Okay, that wasn't an issue, but they also have their lasers, and that's what I'm mostly concerned about, which is why the torch eyes are a much bigger threat. So Evil Ring, use the power of evil against evil to destroy evil. Zap them with death. That was a good hit. If I can get rid of these guys before they can do any harm, that will really help me conserve my strength for the boss. Fun little story about this battle. This is a battle where I actually used to... how hard can guns hit these guys? 45... 32, that's enough. And I can have somebody else worry about the group attack on those hand claw guys that for some reason I always forget their name, like Steel Claw or something like that. I don't know why I always forget this enemy's name. Steel Claw. I was right. Domingo! Freeze level 2 because you don't have freeze level 3 yet. Because yay. Anyway, I was trying to say that this battle is a little interesting because as a kid, this was one fight that I actually never, I always ignored these enemies because I felt like they were way too hard to defeat. And so I would just run away. I would just go for Ramladu, and if you just charge your forces straight northward, these robots will ignore you. They'll just sit there and not do anything. They won't really move at all unless you're in their attack range. That was a roundabout way to attack somebody. He had to deliberately avoid other characters to get at Mei. And if this were a newer game, I would actually chalk that up to the AI being smart and trying to get rid of the threat after having seen that evil ring, but this game isn't that elaborate. Does shield work against lasers? I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember because I never used this spell because it also makes you immune to healing magic, and by this point in the game I usually don't have healing items for restoring my characters anymore. I've usually moved on past healing items, so I'm not entirely sure if that will protect Mei, but I felt like I should at least try so I can get another use out of the evil ring in case they all decide to gang up on her. Okay, it doesn't. Laser doesn't count as magic. That's good to know. That also makes that spell kind of useless. Let's see. What does Anri want to do? I think she wants to do this. As I've said a long time ago that I'm not a fan of wiping out multiple enemies with one spell because of the lost experience points. But at this point in the game, there's so few opportunities to level up left that I'm less concerned about that and more concerned with just getting through the challenges ahead. Especially with how strong the enemies are becoming. Aleph, use your destructive might to zap things. And then level up. That level up kinda sucked. Gort. I brought Gort for his Heat Axe and Atlas Axe because he can now be like Kerpow! Like the Heat Axe, the Atlas Axe can also be used as an item for magic, except it casts Blaze level 3 instead of Blaze level 2. So not only is it a stronger weapon, it's also an upgrade in that regard. I still keep the Heat Axe though, just in case the Atlas Axe gets damaged. Stab the robot Vankar, prove that your spear is mightier than their metal faces. And then somebody else go, not that guy. Max. Do this, run away, and then destroy this guy. Use this thing because it can't get damaged. And this way you don't have to risk missing. Level up. More attack power. That I don't use much with you anymore. Now I can't even heal Mei because I made her immune to things for no reason. At this point... Actually, wow, Mei's stronger than Gunts because she has the Valkyrie, which means she is more valuable to keep alive, meaning Healing Seed. Bypass the shield by doing this. I can imagine some people actually doing that. Some people probably do highly utilize the spell, the shield spell, and just carry healing items instead. Which I can imagine being somewhat effective, especially if you're using both Tarasu and Hanzo, so you have two people capable of casting the spell. Speaking of which, Tarasu's probably going in not too long, I hope, so let's just try to get rid of this guy and then hope Tarasu can heal Gunts. Solid level up, especially because Gunts is another character that will be really useful for the boss. I want to conserve some of my magic points though, don't want to waste all of them too quickly. Deadly attack! Hope that I don't regret that decision. I did not regret that decision yet. Blaze level 1 should suffice. Burn! Burn to death, melt your metal! Quick spell ends. Musashi! And then he just does that. He doesn't need AoE, he just wrecks stuff one at a time. Okay, this battle's already almost done. There's really not a whole lot to it. Although I could imagine it being a little bit more difficult for some people who wouldn't consider running away first to heal, because if you tried to do this fight just straight up, you didn't think, oh, I'm gonna go retreat first, bring my characters back to life, restock on items, repair any damaged equipment, then do this. This fight would be a lot more difficult, and I imagine some people probably did do that growing up because they just assumed that they would have to redo the first part of the fight if they ran away because these two fights are so seamless. But that's not the case. You can just run away and restore whatever you need to, making this kind of easy. It almost feels like they meant for you to fight both battles at once, but then you can just not have to. Which is interesting because back in the day, I used to get beat down pretty hard in most fights, so that would have actually made this battle extremely difficult if I had tried that. Maybe I did. Maybe the first time I played this game, I did do that, and then lost this battle, then realized when I came back, oh, you don't have to redo the first part of the fight. Maybe that happened. I just realized I should have maybe... No, it's not that important. I was just thinking maybe I should have brought a flying unit to get behind Ramladu, but that wouldn't have really been worth it considering the strength of most of my flying guys. Have a little bit more healing to do, and then we're just gonna get right up on this guy.
That's what... If you say that's what she said one more time, I'm gonna pop you.
Unfortunately, we lost Tao, but I kind of expected that to happen when I rushed her in like that, but I was more concerned with making sure Max didn't get taken out. So I feel like it was a worthwhile trade. Ramladu is pretty strong, but fortunately he doesn't move at all. So we should be able to get ourselves set up however we need to before engaging him in battle. So we're just gonna take a moment and get everybody where we need them, and then probably start with a powered up attack from the power. Oh no, what? He does move? Uh-oh. I've never seen him move before. I need to reassess some things. At least some people got through. Lo! Quick, power up Musashi. We must engage in battle. He has surprised us with a surprise charge and kill of a guy. Oh no, the rig is damaged already. Max! Freeze powers that only you can wield, for when the Chaos Breaker appeared in later Shining Force games, other heroes couldn't use it to cast magic, making you the greatest hero of them all. Guns, I actually need you to just throw this spear. Will that do any damage? No. So instead, actually, get out of the way. Use the black ring. Do that much damage. That wasn't much, but it was something. Aleph. Quick! Zap him! From a safe distance. Interestingly though, he has Aura level 3, but he never uses it. I don't think I've ever seen him use it. And even if he does, I can just take that damage off of him rather quickly afterwards, so... whatever. I believe they might have made him use it in the remake, but I don't think I've ever seen him cast it in this version. Tarasu, you're up there in a bad spot, but you can hit guys, so nobody's hurt, because the only one who got hit was Gort, and he went down. So quick, staff powers, show him how much worse you are with the holy staff than he is, because for some reason that weapon of his is a holy staff. That frickin' mace with a weird handle. I don't think I've ever seen a mace with a guard like that. Vankar, I think, has my halberd. So he needs to get in close and stab. All things considered, this went really well for having no setup whatsoever. I should have used the halberd instead of attacking with it. Oh no, he keeps doing things that I don't expect him to be doing. But that's okay. He also auto-healed, so he got so much of his health back. I really wish I could use the power ring again. But I can't without losing it, and that wouldn't be worthwhile. He uncongested the area, though, so at least now I can surround him better. Deadly attack, that's exactly what I need. Show him death. Teach him the error of his ways of being possessed. Burn for your crimes. Domingo! Magic. Imagine if I could just hit him with Muddle and it would cancel out Darksol's control over him. It would confuse him back into his senses. Imagine if that were a thing. But instead, I'm just gonna slice him in half with death. And that's why I brought Musashi, specifically for handling this stuff. Neither of them are strong enough to make any difference, so attack! At least Lo can still get other use by casting Quick on people if he gets the opportunity to do so. But this should finish things off. And thus the king is dead. The king of the kingdom who killed Henri's father, who is also a king, has been killed by the princess of the kingdom of the king he killed. That's something. I am dying, but my mind is once more my own. Darksol was controlling me. You must stop Darksol. If he frees Dark Dragon, all of Rune is doomed. He has gone to the gate to summon the castle from the depths of the sea. Go! Bleh! Max, Darksol has already entered the castle of the ancients. You must hurry. I found a secret passage to the gate. It is in the entry hall of this castle. Good job, Nova. Return to town and make your final preparations. Then take the passage. Yes, final preparations we go to. But first, we have to grab these chests we didn't grab before, which I need to make room for. The Atlas obviously needs to go to Luke. But as for the halberd, I'm gonna have to figure that out based on my party for the next battle. To town! To restore people to life and to prepare for destruction of bleh. You may have died instantly, Tau, but at least you contributed in this battle much more than you did in the battle against Chaos, where you just died for no reason. Nova, advise me. Share with me your wisdom that is usually useless. Do not exhaust yourselves here. Use aggress to retreat from overwhelming odds. Okay. Again, I feel like that's advice that should have happened earlier, but I guess the earlier battles were trying to teach me the fundamentals of playing the game rather than the fundamentals of a tactical retreat when you're losing. Now, to arrange my party once more. This is gonna be a tricky one to figure out what I want to do. Kind of. Alright, our forces assembled, let's head down that secret passage that Nova discovered. And then we end up here. This is the familiar, it's basically just Runefaust's place of where the first battle in the game took place, but the door is locked. To unlock this door, we have to actually think back to something that Karen or Corin or whoever it was told us about how the Chaos Breaker can be used to summon the Castle of the Ancients. And if you forgot that, you're probably stuck. And I can imagine some people probably got to this point and could never figure out what to do because they forgot that little bit of information. I never had that problem myself, but I can imagine it happening, especially if you're unable to play the game very frequently, whereas in my my case, I would always play the game as a rental back then, so all the playing of it was congested within just a couple weeks, so it was easy to remember certain bits of information. But what we have to use is use the Chaos Breaker, and then it summons the castle from under the water. That also opens this door so we can head to where Dark Dragon is sealed and finally put an end to this madness once and for all. At last, Max, the castle of the ancients. The end is near for good or ill. None shall pass Colossus, the eternal sentinel. Leave now. Colossus! I've heard of it in legends! Max, they are attacking! But before we can stop Darksol, we must have another boss fight!
Because god damn it, we wanted one more boss fight!
So we have to fight this guy, which is 3 guys. They all have the same stats, except they have different level 3 magic. And I don't know, I always kill all 3 of them, but I'm not sure. You may win the battle by just killing the one that uses Bolt. I think I may have read that at some point, but I could be mistaken, or the information I read could have been wrong. Let's take a look at this real quick, what we're dealing with. Lots of chimeras. Yay. So I brought some sleep users, Tao and Hanzo, to hopefully handle those guys a little bit. And I also brought flyers to help deal with this congestion, as well as archers, because once you go up there, you can start having some problems, but we're going to try to mitigate that as much as possible. Because if you just rush up there really quickly, you can end up just getting stuck. Let's see. I would like to try to lure these guys in and take care of as much of them as possible, though, under more advantageous circumstances. At least to as much of a degree as I can. Although that doesn't look like it's going to work very well. This is actually one of the harder fights because of this part, and with my low stats, it's going to be tricky to handle all of this. I'm really gonna have to start pulling out all the stops and figure out how I'm going to deal with the problems I'm being presented with, while also conserving enough strength to then fight the bosses at the end. So if things get quiet, that's why. Because I'm thinking. Give Hans strength! So he can then shoot stuff! Hopefully. I'm glad it didn't get damaged yet. That's something good. Those guys are getting into position to block me off when I try to get through that nonsense. Tao's screwed no matter what if she gets attacked. Pretty much everybody's screwed no matter what if they get attacked, except for Max. Max, I think you need to try to be bait if you can get the opportunity. The battle just started, so if something goes bad... These guys are also weak to ice. I feel like I just cast Quick on Max. I feel like I actually need to get him in there to draw some of the enemy fire, as dangerous as that is, because they also have their flamethrowers, which will bypass Quick. But I feel like I need him drawing attacks, because so many of my other characters will just get taken out in one shot if they're attacked. And I need to keep that in mind. Another fun little story about this particular battle, though, is the very first time I got far in this game, I'm pretty sure it was the very first time, because when I finally figured out that Michaela thing was bogus... Oh, come on. Hang in there. Oh, lucky. But yeah, the very first time I found out that Michaela thing in Alterone was bogus and I had to not listen to her, I got far. I think that was the same time when I actually made it all the way to this point. That was also the file where I discovered that... Well, did I get this far? I think I did. I'm not sure though, because of the trouble I had with the marionette boss. That might have held me back. But whatever the case, I got far on that run and, what am I trying to say? And whether or not that was the same run, there was also the run I had brought up before where I had, gotten, where I discovered that I could promote. I didn't have to wait until level 20 to promote. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is I got to this battle on one of those files. I don't know if they were both the same file or not, but I think these guys are actually susceptible to D-Soul. Yes, got him. I think I read somewhere once in a discussion about the late parts of this game that the blue dragons are susceptible to that spell. So I decided to go for that instead of trying to put a chimera to sleep. I need to get rid of these chimeras quickly though, because if they attack Max again, that's it. Shield might work against the breath attacks, but either way, if Max is attacked again, he's dead. So I just need to heal. I want it to be Kokichi's turn because he has the evil ring. Alright, Hans, I really need that power boost to pay off. And it did. Hopefully. The verdict is still out on whether or not anything is gonna go good. But this will help. Oh, dang it. That's not good. The level up is useful, but I'm not happy about losing the thing. Their evasion's gonna be the death of me. Now I'm really wishing I had brought Henri or, what's her face? Aleph, so I had more bolt magic. I was so focused about avoiding the congestion that this became a problem. Alright, Max. I need you to kill things. I would love for you to... What? Is freeze level 3 like that? I don't think it is. But anyway, Max, I need you to kill stuff. I would love for you to heal yourself for the sake of safety, but I really need to get a guaranteed kill here. On this one, actually, because if Tao can get another turn, she should be able to take out the other one with her blaze magic despite their resistance. I'm gonna use level 2 because I don't want low in the way. I want the enemies to be able to reach Max. At least one of them. And then if I could take out the weakened one... Now I just have to hope that that thing, when it gets its turn, it attacks Max. Perfect. Now it just needs to not kill him. Perfect.
And all because you asked for it.
I was so close to pulling that off. Aleph! I'm gonna bring you instead of Tao. There. That should solve the thing that killed me. The sad thing is I could have totally prevented that death if I had just cast heal level 3 instead of just level 2, but I felt like level 2 would be enough. I just needed to get him healed enough so he had enough health to survive the flamethrower. That's all I needed to do. But then he didn't survive the flamethrower because of a critical hit. That's pretty much the story of this entire thing. This entire run has just been the tales of Shining Force people dying to critical hits. sums up the entire thing. And it was going so well. Everything was just going so perfectly. I was so happy that I was able to just get past probably the hardest part of this battle so smoothly. But then that had to happen. Now I don't have Blaze level 3 though to deal with these guys, but I'm far less concerned about them than chimeras. I know this doesn't work on lasers, but does it work on fire breath? Let's try to find out. Let's power up Lyle this time! Make him stronger, because why not? Let's mix it up a little bit. Let's make things different from last time. It just occurred to me that because I cast shield on Max, I now can't cast quick on him. So, let's hope that this works. Come to me, Dragon Man, so I can destroy you with death. This is going differently than last time. Max, I need your turn so you can get in position to draw the enemy fire again, because that worked so well last time that we are going to repeat the strategy. But this time you have magic protection instead of physical protection, which will hopefully pay off better. You just got more defense, so that's a start. Kokichi, you got your turn too soon. So stab this guy. I'm gonna ignore the dragon and just hope Hanzo can de-soul it again, I guess? Oh, that hurt. Someone get in there, give Max some berries that are seeds apparently, so he can be healed, but not Domingo. Domingo must kill with this. Domingo can also learn de-soul, but he doesn't know it yet. Otherwise I could have had him go for the dragon instead of having to hope Hanzo gets a turn. This is sort of working out. Uh-oh. Unless I lose Domingo, then it is not working out. Wreck some things, Aleph! Use your mighty magic of lightning that is not thunder because video games are retarded and call lightning thunder. And use it to destroy our enemies. She just got bolt level 3. That would have been useful 2 seconds ago. But whatever. Max, eat these berry seeds! And then Balbaroy, give berry seeds to Domingo! Use your flight for healing, not death! Bam! There's a solid hit. And let's add to it! And now, Blue, what can you do? Can you hurt anything? Your level's kinda useless. If you score a crit or a double attack on this guy, you might be able to take him out. Let's go for it! Good job! You did the exact opposite of what I asked you to do. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is I gave Hanzo the katana from Musashi, so he has a bit higher attack power. Yeah, the Doom Blade can cause instant death, but that's just not worth it. Good job. Another miss. Just like attacking chimeras does. And now do this. Finish this guy off. Things are going better this time. And because of Kokichi getting his turn too soon, I haven't even needed to worry about the losing the evil ring. Oh no! Ugh, that's unfortunate. So is that. Because I'm limited in who I can get over there to help. Things are going worse this time, but at least I'm winning. Now I just need to hope I can hit this thing. And then we can press on to the next phase. Ah, good double miss, Kokichi. I'm gonna have to keep Domingo here. And hope Blue can get in there with a healing seed. This is a process, but it's working. Oh no, I didn't even get to see if it works. Yay. Yes, just keep attacking Domingo, just keep focusing on that, prioritizing, and focus all your efforts on him until you are dead and you have accomplished nothing. Anyway, as I was trying to say, but I feel like I kept failing to bring up, is this is actually one of the more memorable battles in the game for me because I remember just getting stuck on it. The file where I was just getting so far, it seemed like I was going to be getting through, finally making progress and beating this, but then I got stuck on this battle. I just wasn't strong enough, so I just kept losing it over and over again. And I felt like it was because my levels just weren't high enough. The next time I played the game, the only thing I did differently was promote earlier. And so I was at a higher level by this point, and so my units were stronger, so I was able to pull this off. And then later on, I discovered that there are people who actually promote at level 20 because of the extra levels you get and such, and that didn't make any sense to me because of my run of this game that just ended in complete disaster because I wasn't strong enough by this point because I promoted later. So the logic of promoting later to be stronger just didn't make any sense to me. You pretty much force yourself to have to grind to compensate for lost time, which just makes the game take longer. Or you could not stop to grind and wind up basically in the situation I was in when I first played the game. Granted, my levels right now are probably lower than they were even on that run, or about the same, and I'm making it just fine, so tactics are also part of it. But still, when I first heard about people who deliberately promote late because of that first experience I had with getting far in the game, the idea just didn't make any sense to me. Because I would just try to cross this bridge aggressively because I sucked back then, so I would aggressively try to cross this bridge, and then I would just get completely overwhelmed and not be able to do anything, especially once those guys come in. If you charge right up the bridge, you get pincered by the dragons and the chimeras, and then those guys come up from the top, and you can quickly be overwhelmed. Dealing with that is part of the reason why I set up my team the way I did, so if I do get congested there, my archers will be able to reach the enemies regardless, and I'll have flying units to be able to stay off the bridge so others can get through. And that's why I'm not using Gong anymore. Gong does eventually learn Aura as a second spell, but he only gets level 1, and I only know that from reading about it. I have never gotten him to a high enough level to learn that spell because you have to get him so high to be able to acquire it. Now, how do I want to approach this situation? Here come those dragons, so I actually want to back up. See if I can draw them over here instead of fighting them on the bridge. Oh no. And then that happens, and you just get overwhelmed on that bridge, and that's how this battle can go. And I've said before that the extent of my tactics in this game were just charging as fast as I could, as hard as I could, every turn, so I would just wind up on that bridge and just be overwhelmed every time, and my characters weren't strong enough to compensate for my weak tactics because of my late promotion. Because waiting for somebody to get to level 20 and then realizing, oh hey, I could have promoted sooner, that took until chapter 5. I think near the end of chapter 5 until I finally promoted. So my levels were probably similar to this actually, except I was a dumb kid who didn't know proper strategy. So I couldn't compensate for my low stats by playing well. Not to mention, I know the game well enough to exploit it in certain ways. I know how to sometimes manipulate the AI and have a rough idea of how they'll act. So that's another part of it. Finally, a hit that isn't magic. And Domingo just learned freeze level 3, so let's take advantage of that to get rid of this chimera as quickly as possible. Also the blue dragon, I guess. I actually don't think that would be worth it. Ah. There. Now Max can finish that guy off with the Chaos Breaker so long as he gets his turn. So I'm going to focus other characters more on the dragon, because the dragon resists ice and is also easier to hit.
Now bear my Arctic Blast.
Hanzo can't reach with anything, so let's just try to kill it. Let's see if D-Soul works again. It didn't work again. Really wish Lyle were still with me now. Because now that thing's probably going to attack somebody. Hopefully, Max. Hopefully he doesn't die. When I said hopefully he doesn't die at that point, I just felt like I was tempting fate to screw me over. I wonder if I can trigger more of these guys to come at me sooner rather than later. There we go. And now Blue needs to run away. And we'll just try to kind of do what we just did again. Uh-oh. That's more enemies this time. They're learning. They realize they need to be a little bit more aggressive. Everybody retreat! Alright, they're getting closer, but I feel like I want to lure them just a little bit more closer. See, this isn't the kind of thing I would do back in the day. I would just be up on the bridge, getting wailed on from every direction, and just literally trying to power my way through because I thought that was strategy. But we're past the point where we can rely on such things. Dang it. There we go, sort of. I would have rather them been a bit closer to the middle, but whatever. And charge! Lay waste to the enemies that have come to us. Defeat the next wave of monsters so that we may finally perhaps press onward across that bridge. And we're off to a good start. Let's try this again. Excellent. Rob the dragon of its life force. And just make it poof away into nothingness. D-Soul has a much cooler animation in the second game because the Reaper actually impales the thing with its scythe instead of just floating around completely motionless. Without the power ring, though, defeating Colossus is gonna be rough. Hopefully everything works out. But for now, Kacha! And then, Kacha! Way to put that power ring boost to good use. Fortunately, I have the power of glitch on my side, so they are still stronger so long as they aren't targeted by anything. Which may help get me through this. Alright, now we have to press onward. Across the bridge we go. And I don't know if we can get past these skeletons without casualties, but we'll see how things go. What should my approach be? I think quick! On max! Give our one guy who can take damage some protection. And then... let's hope for the best. Considering how differently this is going from how I anticipated it, though, I'm definitely seeing some things I will do differently if we must once more return to this battle. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Alright, the enemies have taken their turns. Let's attack! Use the power of a glitch boost to destroy the enemies! Mwahahaha! And then hope you don't get attacked so you can continue to utilize your might. And then, do this. I could have taken out that horseman in one shot, but lots of people can do that because they have such low defense. They're basically the embodiment of glass cannons. Yay, Max got a magic point. Oh no, the quick spell turned out to be completely useless. Quick, Hanzo, protect Max. Attack the enemy that has lower hit points. And destroy him. Kacha! That's always been one of my favorite attack animations in this. It's very ninja-y, I guess. Those jets are probably going to attack now. Domingo! Punch this guy! Conserve your magic points! Do more than one damage. That's how little defense these guys have. Domingo did more than one damage with his basic attack. But they also hit really hard, so that's probably why. And he helped! It's thanks to him that Balbaroy was able to finish the thing off. Although Kokichi would have just came in and helped anyway, so it doesn't matter. Oh, the other armed skeleton moves in. As do the jets. Uh-oh. I don't want to lose Hanzo. He's one of my characters who's actually strong. Because he's actually at the level he should be. Because, this is... when you get him at level 10 near the end, so he's kind of built around... being roughly at that level at this point. So unlike most of my other characters, he's not really underpowered. Although Max is getting up there, this is bad. And Tarasu and Lo are about where they should be. Bring on the hurt! That's not really what I meant, but it works. Use the glitch power to destroy. And then Blue must also use the glitch power to destroy. And then Hans, you're not glitched, but destroy anyway. Use your mighty gun, bazooka, arrow. And then Blue, I can't check your stats for reference, otherwise you'll get weakened. So do this. Perfect time for a critical hit. And we also got to see that special animation. The glitch might also go away when you level up. I'm actually not sure about that. That skeleton is far more dangerous, and lots of others can get to the jet. So Max, attack this guy and draw in its fire from Hanzo, at least until I can get Hanzo healed. See what I'm talking about never using Max's basic attack again once I get to this point? I'm putting faith in you, Lo. And faith in the skeleton going for Max instead of killing Hanzo if it gets another turn. Hopefully that pays off. Although now that I took the jet out, somebody else could use an item if necessary. Healing Seed! Fortunately, the Colossus heads split up, although I believe if you go for the center one, then the one that's still left will join in. So I feel like it's best to take out one, then circle around to take out the other one, and do it like that, rather than take out one and then go into the middle and kind of trap yourself. I'm gonna hold off on healing for a second until this thing is defeated and I can use Aura. There's no way this armed skeleton should be getting another turn unless we get double turn stuff happening. Which could happen. Wow, 2 attack power for Hans. But yeah, that could happen. Heck, Max is very... Oh no, I have to make sure not to heal Blue though, because I don't think leveling up ruins the glitch, but I know if I heal him, his attack power will return to normal. Normally, I'm not one to exploit glitches. In fact, if this were a standard run, I would go out of my way not to. As soon as the thing wore off, I would check his stats to make sure I couldn't exploit a glitch. But given my levels, I will gladly do that right now. Who's hurt? Aside from Blue, just those two? It'll actually cost less magic points to just cast heal level 1 twice than it would to cast aura level 1 to heal him simultaneously. Of course, neither of them got fully healed, but that should be healed enough. Colossus isn't too tough, honestly, for a boss. The only trick is that there's 3 of them. But if you fight them all one at a time, it's not too difficult usually. Although I lured him in a bit early. Fortunately, he's a magic guy, and at this point, enemies with magic aren't especially threatening. So we should have this in the bag. Fun fact about Colossus, he actually appears as a bonus boss in Shining Force 3, Scenario 3. When you're at the end of the game, there is an optional dungeon you can play through to level up your characters in preparation for the final battles. And also by doing that, you get the best weapons for the 3 main characters. And it's just a trial dungeon. It's a multi-floor dungeon. You go down and down, fighting various battles that are fairly difficult, and it ends with a super boss that you have to defeat to get the weapon. Colossus isn't that, though. He's, I think, the second to last fight, but it's interesting that they brought him back for that. And then the super boss is also a throwback to a previous game because it's another returning boss. Good job, Max. I finally attack with you and you miss. But yeah, there's just a fun little detail about this guy that he makes a return appearance in Shining Force 3. And there's even all 3 of them, and I believe they also have the right magic. I think there's 1 fire, 1 ice, and 1 lightning, although I believe they have the level 4 magic instead of the level 3. Plus, they're just much stronger in general because as a whole, the characters just became a lot more powerful as the series went on. So if they were like this by that point in Shining Force 3, you would just take them out like they were nothing. These are endgame bosses that are weaker than the normal enemies are at the end of that. That's 1 Colossus down. Now we just have to circle around to the other side to defeat the Blaze one, and then it's on to the lightning one, the bolt one. We also have to do a little bit of healing. That's fine. Mostly that, actually, he only attacked Max. So, getting him healed up shouldn't be a problem. I'm gonna have low focus more on that, though, so I can save Tarasu's magic points for casting Aura, especially for the final guy, since he has Bolt level 3, which is basically gonna wipe out my entire party. Balbaroy discovers a Kaku-chan. He got this thing. A kid with a gun, it looks like. And that's the last of our useless items we will be finding on this adventure. Uh-oh. Blue, you did a thing! Quick, retreat before he hits you and you lose your powers. Max, quick, get up there and draw his fire. I hope he keeps chasing me, because that'll save some time. He didn't. Dang it. But if Domingo does this, then he may pursue to attack. Although I'm not entirely ready yet. Oh, no, that's Balbaroy that's over there. Never mind, it's good. For a second, I thought it was Hanzo that was over there because originally I was going to have him grab the thing since I had an opportunity to do so, but then checked his inventory and he was full on items. Fortunately, this Colossus only uses Blaze, so it's definitely the least threatening. Let's get in there and take it out. Destroy the floating head of doom so that we can enter the innermost sanctum of this place and finally confront Darksol for the climactic battle. Freeze powers! Unfortunately, their their spells don't dictate any sort of weaknesses. It's just the spells they happen to know. Diane, destroy! Good job. Flawless win. Like Hans. Hans will just die in one hit from that bolt spell. I feel like I'm gonna have to get in there with Max. I think I need to cast Shield on Max and then move him in to lure the Bolt Colossus down to me. Then once it's chased me down, I will need to engage with everybody else. I think that's going to be my strategy. Once more using Max, the guy who, if he's defeated, I lose, as bait, because he's the only guy who can take damage at this point. Actually, Domingo might be better bait because he's much more expendable at this point, since he's almost out of magic points. Another Colossus down! An ancient weapon that is old, defeated by the old man of our party. It is a thing that happened, I guess. Go forth, Blue, the mighty dragon that I am actively not healing so you can utilize your strength that you keep not utilizing because your movement isn't able to keep up with the others. Which I guess makes sense, because even though dragons can fly, I don't imagine them realistically, well, first off, I don't imagine them realistically flying, but even if they could, I don't imagine them being very fast. Especially compared to, say, a birdman or an elderly human with a helicopter contraption. Level up for low! Got more survivability, that's pretty much all he needs. Survivability and new spells. I think we're at a point where his MP is good, unless I'm needing to cast heal level 3, which is very rare. That's not a spell I use too often because it just costs so much. And yeah, it heals more, but I rarely find myself needing to heal that much, especially because when my levels are proper, enemies don't hit you very hard. Unless they're using, like, say, magic, but even then, if your levels are proper, you usually have enough hit points that enemy magic isn't much of a problem. I don't want to move in too aggressively yet. I feel like I should have split up a bit. The problem is his bolt magic can hit so many people at once that I really need to make sure that it doesn't, which is why I want Domingo to kinda bait him out. But first, let's protect Domingo! Because Domingo isn't just totally useless by this point. Uh-oh. He's moving in! Charge! The plan has fallen apart! Tarasu! Cast shield on Hans because Hans will die in one hit from bolt level 3. And then charge! I guess this works. Critical hit of 1. And then a second attack of the same. And then continue to hold on to the power boost and miss. Perfect. I'm going through all this effort to hold on to these power boosts, and it's not amounting to anything. Diane keeps missing, and Blue just can't catch up before the Colossuses are destroyed. Good job. Good job. I'm really happy I protected you with magic. Low. Max is good, so get in there and heal yourself. Hanzo, go. Use your ninja powers. Stealth kill floating headman. Just be like, phew. And then stab dead. Except not dead. You have failed as a ninja. So now Max must come in and fix everything with his lightsaber. Perfect. Victory, fools. Dark Dragon will come to destroy you. Not if we stop Darksol from summoning it. You've destroyed. For a second, I thought the little curly thing on that D was a comma. I was just gonna read it like that. You've destroyed Colossus, but where is Darksol? secret passage! Use the staircase, Max. Darksol must be up there. We will. Next time. For now, though, we must head back and prepare our forces for the climactic battle against Darksol and the evils that he has wrought upon the land. Many of which involves revenge, because like half our team is in this fight for revenge. Will we achieve that revenge? Find out next time or whatever. Dark Dragon, awaken from your long sleep. The time has come for you to reclaim this land. Oh no, it's happening! That thing that we never would have expected to happen. Awaken, Dark Dragon. Something is wrong. Max, blast! You have meddled for the last time. Kill them, my servants. Max, you must stop Darksol before he completes his foul ceremony. Attack!